question a lot. Should you niche down as a UGC creator? Sometimes newer UGC creators or people who are like considering becoming a UGC creator, they think that, okay, if I just pick one specific industry and I make all this content and I focus on one industry, say it's like the beauty or the health and wellness industry, they think that by doing that, they're going to just naturally get more brand deals. So do I think that is personally true? That's what we're going to be discussing in today's video. Real quick, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications if you're an aspiring content creator or if you're already a content creator who wants to earn more income and elevate your life, because I upload a new video every single Tuesday morning. So be sure to do that. Now let's get into today's topic. So at the beginning of my UGC journey, which was like back in the summer of 2022, not that long ago as of the time of this recording, but it was like the UGC community and just the knowledge of UGC was just starting to emerge. And there were more and more people talking about UGC, talking about their journey, sharing their journey as a UGC creator over on social media, like TikTok mostly. And I will say that when I first got started during that time, about 90% of the UGC examples that I saw on TikTok were in the beauty industry. And just seeing that, like that many examples of people posting about all the UGC they were creating for beauty, from like makeup, skincare, all that stuff, it made me stop and like actually wonder and question, okay, should I even get into UGC? It seems like beauty brands are the only ones working with UGC creators based on what I'm personally seeing on TikTok. So I had to stop and think about, should I even pursue it? And then of course, like the next day I was like, okay, no, duh, there's every single kind of brand, every single niche and industry, they need content too. So I kind of got out of that mindset and I was like, okay, even though a lot of people, most people that I'm seeing on TikTok post about UGC examples within that makeup, skincare, beauty industry, even though they're doing that, it's not necessarily what I need to do, and I know that most brands need content. And the reason I bring that up is because I still get comments like this one pretty regularly. Where do you find other niches besides beauty and skincare? And just that comment alone, and every single time somebody does ask me questions like that, it always makes me realize, okay, they're having kind of a similar situation and start to UGC that I had, even though it's been months and months since like I started UGC, and there's even more people doing UGC, sharing their examples of different industries. Still, it seems like it's like overtaken by the beauty industry almost. So I just want to lay that out there because I still see this time and time again. So first of all, I just wanted to speak to those people who are kind of in that same boat. If you're in that same boat and you're like, okay, most of the UGC I see is like, you know, aesthetic, like pretty makeup tutorials or like skincare or like shampoo or whatever in that industry, or maybe it's even a different industry, whatever industry that you're seeing the most of. I just want to tell you that you don't have to, just because you see other people doing a lot of content like that, it doesn't mean that you have to, or that that's the only other option in UGC. There is so many options, so much opportunity within almost every single niche and industry. All right, let's move on to another common thing that I see, especially with new UGC creators. And that is that they are just sticking with one industry. For some reason, it kind of goes back, but like it always seems to be the beauty industry. I know it's kind of a generalized statement, but for me, what I've seen personally, it seems to be happening more within the beauty industry, where people come to me and they go on my lives, or they comment, or they email me or DM me, and they say, hey Megan, I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Like, I have sent so many pitches to different brands, typically beauty brands, and all they want to do is they want to send me free products in exchange. They just want gifted collabs from me. They don't even want to pay me. And they ask me, what do I do and what am I doing wrong? And what I personally believe is happening, and let me know in the comments if you agree with this or if it makes sense, but what I think is happening is, because there are so many people starting their UGC journey, and there's so many different UGC creators putting out their beauty specifically content, they think that that is like the only way to go. So there's a ton of people reaching out to all these beauty brands, and so many people that can and want to create makeup tutorials, skincare, like UGC style video. They are pursuing that and they reach out to brands, and there's so many people that are willing to get that gifted collab. Like, so many people just are okay with getting free products, free makeup, free skincare, whatever the case is. They're okay with that. So when you slide into an Instagram DM of some makeup brand or skincare brand, and you're like, hey, I'm a UGC creator and I'll send over my portfolio, and you have your rates on there, and they're like, oh, sorry, we only do gifted collabs. It's not because your content sucks and it's not worth being paid for. It's because there are so many people willing to take all this free product in exchange for making content. So why would they need to go and pay all these UGC creators $150, $200, $400 for one single video when there's a line of people, 20 people that already DM them that same day willing to do it in exchange for free product? Now, I want to be super clear. I am not at all saying that you should not pursue UGC within the beauty niche. Like, I know so many people that are successful with UGC for beauty brands and skincare, whatever, all those kind of brands. I know so many people that are successful, and that does not mean that you should not pursue it, because you also can be successful if you put in the time, the work, the energy of reaching the right brands. But what I'm saying is, do not pigeonhole yourself into one specific niche or industry, especially when you are just starting out and you're just trying to get your first paid UGC brand deal. Don't just have beauty examples on your UGC portfolio. Don't just have food and beverage examples. Don't just have tech examples. Because if you do that, then you're going to be limiting yourself and the amount of brands that you're potentially able to work with and that would like to work with you as a UGC creator. And ultimately, that will result in limiting the amount of income that you make as a UGC creator, which, as you all know, that's the last thing I want. I want you to make as much money as possible as a UGC creator, as a content creator in general. One of the other things I really want you to understand and realize as a new UGC creator, you probably come into it with all these preconceived ideas and notions that, okay, I think that I would be really good at making X amount of content, like blank amount of content, or like within this industry or this niche. I think that I would be so good at making that. That's kind of like the mindset that most UGC creators have at the beginning. Maybe, for example, you are super into like home decor and like you're really into interior design and like the best products for your home to make it look aesthetic. So you're like, oh my gosh, of course I'm going to be really, really good and love making content for home decor companies. But then say that you reach out to one of them, they hire you, which is awesome, but you start making the content and you're like, I actually don't enjoy this type of UGC and like the whole process of this type of UGC after all. And then after that happens, you're like, well, crap. I mean, if I'm wrong about this, what else am I wrong about? Am I not good at making content? Should I not be a content creator at all? Like, because I don't like making this home decor inspo style UGC? And eventually you're gonna feel stuck and you're gonna get down on yourself, and then that is what leads to quitting UGC, which is not what I want for you. So here is my advice. At the beginning of your UGC journey, if you're just getting started, or even if you've been in it for several months now, just start making content for 4 or 5 different industries or niches. Say that you've only done UGC examples and made UGC content around the fitness niche, or maybe the beauty niche, or the fashion niche. Okay, so now you're gonna be like, okay, that's awesome. I kind of got that dialed down. I do like making that content, but now I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make some content around the pet food industry if you have some pets. Or you're gonna go and you're gonna make content around apps because you've never done that before and you're like, oh, maybe I should try that. Because I promise you that when you do not pigeonhole yourself into thinking like, okay, I'm gonna be really good at making this kind of content, I'm gonna love making this kind of content for this specific industry, you may just end up reaching out to a company or like within a specific industry that you would never have before. They hire you, you make the content, and suddenly you're like, oh my gosh, I love making content for this type of company. That is exactly what happened to me at the beginning of my UGC journey. When I first started UGC, I was absolutely convinced that I was going to be making UGC for 3 specific industries. Number 1 was travel, because my family and I travel so much. My son, he's not even 2 yet. He's been on like almost 50 flights so far. So we travel a lot. So I was like, naturally, I'm just gonna reach out to brands, like travel brands, and we're gonna make so much content for them. Number 2, I thought I would be making content around the pet food like industry, or the pet industry, because I have 2 beautiful cats. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you have seen them before. They're so beautiful, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they would be so great to make UGC like in my videos for these pet brands, pet companies. And then the third one I thought I would be making content for was the like baby / toddler industry type of companies, because we have a 1-year-old son. So those are the 3 industries I was absolutely convinced I was going to make UGC for, like for like this entire year, like the start of my UGC journey. And guess what? I have yet to make any content for any of those industries, believe it or not. Isn't that insane? Like, I was so convinced at the beginning, okay, for sure I'm gonna make content for these type of brands. And now I have not made content for any of those brands out of all the clients I've had so far. And you know what ended up happening is, because although I did want to make content for those kind of brands and it made sense to me, I was also very open to working with other types of industries. So what I did is, at the beginning, I was pitching to travel brands. One of the first brands I ever pitched to, in fact, the first brand I pitched to was a cat treat, like a pet food, pet treat product company. So I reached out to them. It didn't end up happening. So I was like, okay. I reached out to several different travel brands, like suitcase brands, like travel bags for kids type of brands. None of those ended up happening, but because I wasn't so like focused on only pitching those kind of brands, I pitched to other brands, and the first brand that ended up hiring me was an app company. They hired me for a few videos, and after I made those first 3, I think it was actually 5 videos because I upsold them, I made those 5 videos and I was like, oh my gosh, I love making UGC for apps. And that would have never happened had I been so pigeonholed and like focused on just these industries. I had this preconceived notion about me being the best for those industries. So I want this to encourage you, like, don't just pick 1 or 2 or even 3 different industries that you think you're gonna make content for and only pitch to those. Yes, of course, you want to pitch to brands that you can actually see yourself genuinely using their products. Don't ever, like, if I pitch to like a fashion brand and all they sold were, you know, women's dresses, that wouldn't work. Like, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I don't wear dresses typically unless I'm like in a wedding or something, but that doesn't make sense. All I'm saying is, even though you may be interested in travel, in fitness, in fashion, don't think that those are the only brands that you're able to make content for and that you enjoy making content for. Like, don't let your mind become narrow. Open up your mind and start pitching to other brands, especially if you are in UGC right now and you're frustrated that, gosh, these brands are just wanting me to do gifted collabs, or they're just like not wanting to pay me, or they blah, blah, blah. Whatever the reason is, start branching out and reaching out to other types of brands. You never know what could happen when you start doing that. And then as you do start to work with more brands, you get more experience, you're making more UGC, you're on this momentum, this roll, you're going to quickly, I promise you, quickly realize that, okay, I like making UGC for this type of client or this type of brand or this type of product. And the more experience you get, then, okay, maybe then you're going to niche down a little bit. But at the very beginning, do not make that mistake that I see so many UGC creators make. All right, let me know in the comments, what are your favorite types of industries to make UGC for? Tell me, like, is it just one specific one? Have you like, did your journey start like where you're pitching to every single kind of brand or industry or niche, and then now you've been like, okay, I really like health and wellness, so I'm mostly working with those kind of companies? Tell me in the comments below. I would love to know and just kind of help everybody see like how people start and where they end up going, because it's extremely helpful for especially new UGC creators to see that. So comment below. I hope this video was really helpful for you. As always, I upload a new video every single Tuesday, always with the goal of trying to help you earn more money as a content creator. So don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and go ahead and follow me over on Instagram and let me know what you thought about this specific YouTube video for the week. All right, I'll see you next week.